Bradford City were 4 unbeaten before defeat against Barrow. Doncaster Rovers won 3 on the bounce with 3 clean sheets before defeat to Sutton. Both these teams need to come back to winning ways to guarantee a shot at the playoffs. Who falls and who blinks first? Let's find out as Doncaster Rovers take on Bradford City in what is sure to be the biggest game of the season in Sky Bet League 2 action. Obviously, Donny v Bradford today. Bradford coming off the defeat against Barrow. How are we thinking it's going to go from a Bradford point of view today?
4-0 Bradford.
Really? That confident?
No, not in the slightest. This could go either way. It's going to be a draw, isn't it? It's going to be a draw.
Yeah.
For me, I want to see some goals. We've got some goals in us. I think that we leak goals as well, so it's just down to, you've got Lavery, obviously you've got Miller, both ex-Bradford, so let's see what they can do. I know Lavery hasn't scored yet, so it'll be just typical today, but I expect a draw overall. I think if it's not a draw, we'll smash you.
Someone who is returning to the EcoPass Stadium is Adam Clayton. How would you rate him since he's joined Bradford in January?
Up until last Saturday, I'd have given him a 10.
Yeah.
He dropped last Saturday purely because he made the mistake that led to the Barrow goal. But aside from that, it's been like a breath of fresh air. He's changed the way we've played. He's controlled the midfield. He's made space so that Smallwood and Gilead have a bit of freedom. Yeah, impressed. When I saw the comments from your guys when he signed for us, I was like, yeah, this is great. But yeah. I'll be honest, yeah, for me, I think he's absolutely brilliant. We've given him a 6-month contract, we've got to give him more.
One thing I think Bradford do need to be improving in is obviously final third, and I think that's something that we need to be improving as well. You've got Andy Cook, you've got Vidane Oliver. Who would you start today with who's available for today?
Cook. It's got to be Cook. Oliver went through a little bit of a run, but it's not the same. You need Andy Cook, and we dropped him. We didn't drop him, but he became a sub for, I think, from Boxing Day up until a few weeks back. He played something like 20-something minutes.
Yeah.
No more than 20 minutes in a game, and he just didn't score. But yeah, no, Cook. 18 on 19 goals in total this season. So yeah, playoffs are obviously doable, and I do think we'll finish 7th. I think my worry is going forward. If we go up, we've got a lot of work to do in the summer to stay up.
Yeah.
So everyone wants to go up, but if we didn't go up and we stayed in League 2 for another season, I feel like next season we'd be so much stronger. The Mark Hughes is going nowhere. We'll be so much stronger. If we then go on to challenge the top 3 next season, it puts us in a better position. But yeah, no, if we go up, it's great. I don't want to see us struggle next year, though.
Realistic score prediction and why?
I'm going to go 2-all
'Kay.
as my realistic. Purely because I think that
Mr. Mayfield making an appearance.
I think if it's not a 2-all, I think that we smash you. I think the first goal is going to be key. I think whoever scores first controls the game, but I do think that it'll be a draw.
I think we'll compensate from the last match. I think we will win 2-1, and I'd say Jamie Walker and Andy Cook.
Interesting.
2-0. We need the points.
Yeah. Stephen?
2-1.
2-1. And Mason?
2-0. 2-0 Bradford. 2-1 to us.
2-1. And what do you think, Henry? 2-1. Interesting. Happy birthday, first of all.
Thank you.
What's your score prediction for today and why?
0-0.
I think it'll be a 2-2 draw to Rovers, and I think it'll be a good game.
I'm saying 1-1.
Interesting.
1-0 George Miller.
Well, this is a matchup between two sides who are really inconsistent in the performances, so this can go either way. 2-0 Doncaster.
So the starting lineups have been revealed for today's game between Doncaster Rovers and Bradford City. We're going to start with the Bradford City lineup. One major change to the bench is the return of the man who suffered the double leg fracture break in the reverse fixture on the opening day of the season at Valley Parade. Emmanuel Osadebe returns to the bench. Abu Isa picked up a hamstring injury against Barrow, so replacing him is Dara Costello. So the first team for Bradford City is as follows. In goal, number 1, Harry Lewis. Number 2, Brad Halliday. Number 3, Liam Riddell. Number 5, Matty Platt. Number 6, Captain Richie Smallwood. Number 9, Andy Cook. Number 10, Jamie Walker. Number 11, Alex Gilliard. Number 33, Dara Costello. Number 36, Sam Stubbs. And number 14, making his return to the Eco Power Stadium since his exit in January, Adam Clayton. On the bench then, in full for Bradford City, number 13, Colin Doyle. Number 8, the returning Emmanuel Osadebe. Number 12, Scott Banks. Number 16, Ryan East. Number 20, Harry Chapman. Number 24, Ramoni Critchlow. And number 35, Kieran Kelly. Now then, for Doncaster Rovers today, Maxwell is the main miss of the team today. Maxwell misses out completely, he's not even on the bench. Tom Anderson does return and get the captain's armband for today, as well as the return to the starting lineup for Harrison Biggins. So in full then today for Doncaster Rovers, Jonathan Mitchell in goal. Number 2, James Brown. Number 4, Captain Tom Anderson. Number 5, Joseph Olowu. Number 9, Georgie Miller. Number 10, Tommy Rowe. Number 14, Harrison Biggins. Number 18, Ben Nelson. Number 21, Kyle Hurst. Number 23, Charlie Lakin. And number 33, Ben Close. On the bench, Jake Oram, Luke Molyneux, Adam Long, Aidan Barlow, Charlie Seaman, Tom Miller and Carolan Lavery. Those are your team lineups for today. Let's see what today's action brings at the Eco Power Stadium. Here they come! The fans are set, the players are ready. It's Doncaster Rovers versus Bradford City in Sky Bet League 2 action. We're just waiting for the referee's official whistle to kick off this League 2 match. And we have kick-off. Big save needed by Jonathan Mitchell. It was a good shot by Bradford, cutting in from the edge of the box, and Jonathan Mitchell with the save. Still 0-0, but the best effort in the first effort of the game going Bradford's way. A wonderful opportunity there, ball in the box! Just headed away by Bradford, and Bradford clear it away downfield. Rovers boot it back upfield, and now Rovers need to recycle the play and go again here. It's definitely going to be very interesting to see how this goes. But Bradford intercept the play, they're going to go on the counter-attack here if we're not careful. Down this left-hand side here for Bradford, switch the play. And the play hasn't worked, still 0-0. But the cross just couldn't beat the first man from James Brown. So it is still 0-0 here at the Eco Power Stadium. But hopefully it's a sign that we're going to get in the right areas. Free kick there to Doncaster Rovers, a real rumble in the jungle. Near the box, near the penalty area, about the 28-yard mark. We don't know if there's a yellow card yet in play with this situation, but what we do know is that was definitely a free kick. It was definitely a hard challenge. Yellow cards? From here, I would say a yellow card. I'd probably say a yellow card. I might look at it back again, and yeah, he does get the yellow card, I think, from here. So yeah, I think the yellow card was probably a right decision for me in this tackle. But at the moment, free kick Doncaster Rovers, still 0-0. So free kick Doncaster Rovers. Close taking it, not the usual free kick taker, it is usually Harrison Biggins, so let's see how this goes. About 28-30 yards out around that mark from here. Close puts his hands up, swings it in, back of the post. Cleared out, and we have to chase onto it. Bradford just recycling the play here, they keep recycling the play, they keep utilising the space they've been given and just utilising it from the back to the front. A ball swings over though, and Mitchell claims it ahead of the Bradford attacker. And now Rovers need to break. Feels like with some of these passing manoeuvres, especially in our defensive half, it feels like sometimes we're being cornered, even if Bradford aren't pressing as much. We're at a complete standstill and we're back to the goalkeeper again. And now Rovers have to recycle the play again from the back to the front. Now Miller needs to press, now Miller needs to chase, but Bradford recycling, it goes back to the goalkeeper. Still 0-0, but Bradford have dealt with a bit of pressure. A huge long shot wide for Doncaster Rovers, at least he's got the confidence to go for it, so it shows an element of confidence within that particular player. So I think even though it went wide, it was a nice, confident, long-range effort. So still 0-0, but at least got the confidence to try something from long range. Bradford were on the attack there. It was a poor ball from, I think it was Mitchell. Poor ball. And Bradford just nick it, just keep it in. Great defending there though by Joseph Olowu. Fantastic defending. They fight it off. Ball comes in and it is just wide, but that's another let off for Doncaster Rovers there. We can't be making those simple passing mistakes again. Doncaster Rovers 0, Bradford City 0. And they missed the chance. Ball's going to come in now after the short corner. Ball swung in, back post, someone on it! Across goal! Oh, just wide. Just wide there by Doncaster Rovers. Almost an opportunity to go in front. That was our first real clear-cut opportunity of the game. Still 0-0. But the main thing for me is the physicality on and off the ball. Bradford are too bullish against this team. And if we keep getting bullied by Bradford, it's not going to last very, very long, staying 0-0. We're just going to keep at them, keep matching them up physically, and just trying to get the ball off them as much as possible. Stop making these individual mistakes. We can hear the boos start ringing out. That was not a good decision there by the referee. A free kick to Bradford, but that was not a free kick. Oliver got the ball first. The follow through wasn't dangerous enough for it to be a foul or a penalisation against Holloway. It was not dangerous enough to follow through, but he got the ball first anyway. For me, not a free kick, but it is a free kick to Bradford. You hear the boos, it's not a popular decision there, still 0-0. So there could have been a penalty to Doncaster Rovers there, but I don't know, I need to watch that back again to see if it was a confirmed penalty, in my opinion. Now Rovers coming forward here in the middle of the park, scoot across the middle, and the crossover pass was almost there, almost sorted. With a couple of minutes left in this half until the added time for the end of the first half, I would say that physically Bradford would be the happier of the two. In terms of clear-cut chances and how many there are, I'd say we would be the happier. So I think that 0-0 is probably a fair result in this first half, unless someone nicks it against the run of play or nicks it at the death at the end of this first half and gets that opening goal to change the half-time team talks right at the end of the half. So we're relying on something here right at the end to change the team talks for half-time, but at the moment I think 0-0 is a fair reflection of the result. On the one hand, Bradford have been better physically, but on the other hand, we've been better in terms of how many clear-cut chances on goal we've had. But again, both of us cannot score at the moment. So just before the added time is officially brought onto the field, it is a corner for Doncaster Rovers, cleared by Bradford. It was a horrible, horrible corner, taken into the box, no one on the end of it, and Bradford with an easy clearance. We're getting into that added time for the end of the first half. So half-time here at the Eco Power Stadium, it is Doncaster Rovers 0, Bradford City 0. Overall then, I think that Donny can come away happy with the clear-cut chances. However, Bradford have definitely been the more physical team in this first half. I think that Bradford have definitely been the more brute, honest team in this first half. We've just come away with the better clear-cut opportunities, in my personal opinion. So here we are. Current League One standings as it stands. Top 12 looks like this. Sheffield Wednesday 3 points at the top of the table. Ipswich only behind by 5 points. Derby 4 points ahead in the final playoff spot and only 2 points behind Barnsley, who have 3 games in hand on Bolton, who are 3 points in front. Forest Green still rock bottom of League One by 9 points, closely followed by Cambridge 7 points away, and MK Dons, Accrington, Morecambe, Cheltenham and Burton looks like they're fighting it for the final relegation spot. Into League 2, Leyton Orient lead the league and are looking like champions and will lead the league today by 15 points as it stands. So Leyton Orient looking like the clear League 2 champions at this stage. 3 points now separate fourth from second, with Carlisle and Stevenage occupying second and third. Stockport and Northampton chasing. Mansfield and Salford make up the playoffs, but Sutton, Bradford, Swindon and surprisingly Doncaster Rovers are not too far away still. In the bottom 12, Rochdale at the foot of the Football League by 5 points. Crawley dropping to the relegation zone with 4 games in hand on Hartlepool, who are just outside by a point. Harrogate, Gillingham, Colchester aren't exactly safe yet. A really close moment in the first couple of minutes of the second half. Rovers sliding the ball when the ball comes in down the back. On the back post, the ball slides in from the player and blocked by Bradford. It was a wonderful passing manoeuvre from Donny to just recycle the play from the first attempt to go forward and get it into that style of play again. But now Bradford going long down the side. Bradford almost just dealt with it, kind of. Bradford's still on it though, and we'll see what happens with this one. Good block there, Bradford throw, still 0-0. A Bradford opportunity to come forward, tipped by Mitchell, still 0-0, but Bradford again applying that pressure and that physical pressure on the Rovers squad. Let's see how different they deal with it in the second half. Couple of good opportunities there for Bradford City. First one saved by Jonathan Mitchell. Second one headed over the bar and dipping over by a few inches. Foul called there. And again, the fans not happy about that decision. I didn't think there was a lot of contact on it personally, but the Bradford free kick will be taken here. Quite a tight angle for Bradford, so we'll see how they fare with it. The free kick is taken. Headed just wide. Still 0-0, but that was another close shave for Rovers. 1-0, Bradford City. It's come from the corner, it's come from the set piece, a header in the box. We knew that set piece was going to be one of their strong points going into this game, and it is Doncaster Rovers 0, Bradford City 1. Easy set piece goal. The orange pyro is off on the pitch. Gonna need to get their heads back on and quick, because Bradford right now are definitely in the box seat, and they've been in the box seat for at least the last few minutes of this second half. These last 5-10 minutes of the second half has been controlled by Bradford, and they've repaid the control with the goal from the corner. Doncaster Rovers 0, Bradford City 1. Doncaster Rovers have made another change here. They brought Molyneux on earlier. They brought on Lavery for Olowu and gone to a 4-4-2. That's the way it's going to go. Ball in again, cleared away again, and Adoni forced to clear it away. Just again, the half's been Bradford's. The half's been Bradford's in all departments. Just not been good enough. Losing the ball way too much. There's a foul there. That's definitely a free kick, but the referee's going to play on. And it's going to be a Bradford. It's going to be a Donny throw actually. Yeah, definitely been Bradford's half for me. It's been not good enough from Rovers. They're bringing Olowu off now for Lavery. It's just not been good enough this half. Again, losing the ball again. Donny have been losing the ball way too easily, way too often, and it's just not been good enough from Rovers in the second half. Bradford have definitely had the majority of the control in all departments in the second half, for the majority of the half, but they're going to a flat 4-4-2, and it's going to be interesting to see whether this classic formation still works. It didn't work before in the Schofield. Don't know how it's going to work this time. 5 minutes of added time left in this match. The Bradford City fans are absolutely bouncing, and they have a right to be. They've definitely had the better second half in this game. They've been more control, they've had more physicality. We've made silly little mistake after silly little mistake. And Doncaster Rovers, but they're on the break and they lose the ball again. It's cleared by Bradford for a Rovers throw. The Rovers fans need to keep pushing them for an equalising goal. 5 minutes of added time, coming up to 4 now, and Rovers can only get 1 goal to get a point out of this game. But again, Bradford just going to keep pushing and pushing, and again, a silly individual mistake again. And how was that? Bradford throw? I have no idea. Doncaster Rovers 0, Bradford City 1, and it's looking like it's going to stay that way, and it's 2 defeats on the bounce again. Doncaster Rovers corner with a couple of minutes left of added time. Is this Rovers' chance to catch something out of nothing? Because let's face it, on the second half, Bradford have been better. It's the back post. They cannot finish. They really can't finish. All the confidence is stuffed out of them. Oh my lord. So it is full time here at the Eco Park Stadium. Doncaster Rovers 0, Bradford City 1. Second half just not good enough. Bradford more physical, more controlled on the ball. Bradford definitely the better of the two teams in that second half. We just weren't clinical enough with the chance that we did have, and overall we just weren't good enough in that second half, and it's second defeat on the bounce like there was before the 3-game winning run. So and if pattern follows, looks like Stockport might beat us next week if pattern follows exactly, and then we might go back on some kind of run, but on this case it's just not consistent enough, and I think that win for Bradford, in my opinion, kills any hope of the playoffs, despite the fact there is still a couple of months of the season left. It's still not been good enough today in the second half, and it's not been good enough overall, so it's not been consistent enough, and we're going to really struggle now. I feel like we're going to really struggle to make them playoffs. So Doncaster Rovers 0, Bradford City 1. Just not good enough.
It's not good enough right now.
It's just not good enough. Where was the threat in the second half?
It's the board! Attack the board!
Where was that threat in the second half?
I know, nothing.
Nothing. And we've got Stockport next week.
I know, we'll be there, won't we?
Yeah.
We'll be
They're
there.
pushing for third, so that's going to be a tough one.
Play for us, eh?
Yeah,
No. Well, again, 5 minutes of added time. Where was any kind of threat to want to score a goal?
none at all.
No, just not good enough, is it?
Not until number 20 come on, last 5 minutes.
No threat at all, mate.
Need a bit more zip up front, you know, there's enough
Yeah.
chance.
So here are the full classified results from Leagues 1 and 2 before we look at the final standings at the end of this weekend. So first of all, with League 1, half 12 kick-off, Oxford United 0, Bristol Rovers 3, and then the full times from the 3 o'clock kick-off. Barnsley 4, Derby County 1, Bolton Wanderers 2, Port Vale 1, Burton Albion 0, Accrington Stanley 0, Charlton Athletic 0, Sheffield Wednesday 1, Exeter City 2, Cambridge United 0, Fleetwood 1, Morecambe 0, Forest Green Rovers 1, Lincoln City 1, Milton Keynes Dons 0, Ipswich Town 1, Peterborough United 5, Plymouth Argyle 2, Portsmouth 4, Cheltenham Town 0, and Shrewsbury Town 2, Wycombe Wanderers 0. The final standings in League 2, Barrow 1, Stockport County 0, Colchester United 0, Northampton Town 1, Crawley Town 2, Carlisle United 5, Crewe Alexandra 1, Rochdale 1, Crewe Alexandra with 10 men, Doncaster Rovers 0, Bradford City 1, Gillingham 2, AFC Wimbledon 1, Grimsby Town 2, Leyton Orient 2, Hartlepool 3, Walsall 3, Mansfield 2, Salford 5, Newport 0, Sutton United 2, Stevenage 0, Tranmere Rovers 1, and Swindon Town 3, Harrogate Town 0. So your final tables then for this weekend are as follows. The top 12 in League 1. Sheffield Wednesday hold their 3-point lead at the top of the table with a game in hand on Plymouth Argyle. Plymouth Argyle now 5 points ahead of Ipswich in third. Barnsley, Derby and Bolton make the rest of the playoffs. Wycombe 4 points behind. Shrewsbury catching up, but Wycombe and Derby have a game in hand on Shrewsbury. In the bottom 12, it is Cambridge, Forest Green, MK Dons and Accrington making up the bottom 4, with Morecambe ahead on goal difference by 1 just outside of the relegation zone. Cheltenham ahead by 2, Burton ahead by another 2 points ahead of Cheltenham. In the League 2 table, in the top half, it is an unassailable lead at this moment for Leyton Orient. They are 13 points clear at the top of the table. Carlisle in second place. Stevenage behind by a point. Northampton just 2 points outside of the top 3. Stockport, Salford and Mansfield break the rest of the playoffs. Bradford with the win at Doncaster today, 1 point behind the playoff standings. Sutton and Swindon and Barrow still within hope. Doncaster's hopes fading. Rochdale bottom of the league by 6 points and looking pretty doomed. Crawley inside the relegation zone, 2 points behind Hartlepool, who are just outside. Harrogate and Gillingham still not safe as of yet. In the first half, Doncaster Rovers definitely had the cutting edge over Bradford just a little bit, but Bradford had the physicality on Rovers that kept them at bay. In the second half, it was all Bradford City. A lot more composed, a lot more physical, a lot more on the edge over Rovers. Overall, an embarrassing display in the second half of Doncaster Rovers, especially in the added time when we didn't look like we even attempted to attack the ball in the final few minutes. We go to Stockport County next weekend and hopefully get back to winning ways, but there isn't a lot of confidence around the fan base at this time. I am the CHALL, thank you very much, and I'll see you all next weekend at Stockport.